So right now, in the world of Formula 1, there isn't really a lot going on regarding news. Today is January the 27th, and Carlos Sainz has jumped into the Ferrari for the first time. But apart from that, there isn't really much news to go on. We're all waiting for the season to begin in March, or waiting for Drive to Survive Season 3 on Netflix. However, the big talking point right now in Formula 1, which has been going on for a very long time, is regarding the 7-time world champion, Lewis Hamilton. He's still yet to sign a contract, Mercedes only have one driver, and testing begins in 44 days. What's going on? Well, in today's video, we are going to be discussing Lewis Hamilton and his contract with Mercedes. Why is it taking so long? Why has he not signed, and will he sign? Or are we going to see somebody else in that Mercedes seat? If you guys do enjoy today's video, make sure you drop a like down below. It really helps out the channel more than you could possibly imagine, and we're so close to 1,000 subscribers now as well. So if you guys do enjoy what you see over here on the channel and you do want to see some more content, why not click the subscribe button below and help us reach 1,000 subscribers? So Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion who's won 95 races, has gotten 98 pole positions and has been on the podium 165 times, has yet to sign a contract for 2022. What is going on? Preseason testing begins on March the 12th in only 44 days, and Mercedes still only have one driver. It's not really an ideal situation, is it? And this is a topic that's been discussed since mid-season last year about Lewis Hamilton signing a contract. Many times by the media, he'd been asked if he'd started talking about a contract and whether he signed a contract. And you know, Lewis and Toto had many different responses regarding the contracts. First of all, he said that they didn't want to talk about a contract just yet. They'll do it at a later date. Lewis then responded that he didn't want to talk about his contract while there was a pandemic going on and people had financial struggles. And then in later interviews as the season went on, he said, I don't even know if I'm going to be here next year. And later on in the season, he said that he wasn't done yet after reaching 91 wins and matching Michael Schumacher's record. It did sound like throughout the year that Lewis was unsure of whether he wanted to remain on the grid in 2021. However, with how his comments were finishing up the season, that he's not done yet, it sounded like he did want to continue racing in Formula 1, which makes sense because with the regulations not changing too much, Lewis is being handed an 8th World Championship on a plate, while Bottas is going to be picking up the scraps in the back of the kitchen. The big issue for Lewis Hamilton is that the decision isn't just down to him. At the Sakhir Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton was diagnosed with COVID, so George Russell filled in for his place and proved what we've all known for a long time, is that he's an incredible young racer with amazing speed. And he showed us in Sakhir qualifying only 26 thousandths behind Valtteri Bottas in a car that's too small for him. He then went on to control the race very comfortably and would have won the race had it not been for the huge pit stop error. But George did not crack under pressure, which is one of the crucial things I believe going forward with a Mercedes decision. They knew he had pace, they just wasn't sure how he would deal with the pressure, and he proved that he could deal with immense pressure, especially from such a massive blunder that Mercedes did. Considering George Russell was not only going to try and get his first points in Formula 1 or his first podium, he was on to getting his first win. And a massive mistake like that from something out of his control can make a lot of people crack under pressure, start making mistakes, and that's not what George Russell did. Within a few laps, he'd overtaken 3 cars, including his teammate, and was hunting down Sergio Perez to once again retake the lead and go on to get his first victory, until he got a slow puncher. I think I can speak for everybody when we say that that race was an emotional roller coaster, and our hearts sank when we heard not once, but twice that George had to pit due to an issue or problem that was out of his control. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that George has proved he's not only got the speed, he does not crack under pressure. And for Mercedes, he's also going to be a lot cheaper than Lewis Hamilton as well. So why would they pay $50 million a year for Lewis Hamilton when George Russell is a star of the future that's already proven he can lead the team to victory? Now, Lewis Hamilton does have a lot of talent and experience, which is very valuable to Mercedes, and many do want to sign him to the team. However, Daimler, however you pronounce it, who own 33% in the company, have said they would much prefer to take on George Russell instead of Lewis Hamilton, as they can save a lot of money and still have an incredible driver in the team. Toto Wolff, however, wants Lewis Hamilton. He's just signed another 3-year contract, we are expecting Lewis Hamilton to probably sign another 3-year contract along with Toto, and he does say that he's confident a new deal will be struck before pre-season testing on March the 12th. I mean, I hope so, otherwise Mercedes are going to have a little bit of an issue. They will need to buy out George Russell, because of course he will be the replacement for Mercedes, which I'm assuming won't be much of an issue, but that car is designed around Lewis Hamilton needing to drive for the team. If Lewis Hamilton does not sign that contract and they have to bring in George Russell, he's 7 inches taller than Lewis, so they're going to have to change many things around the car to fit him. Where the pedals go? What about his seat? Does he need another seat fitting? There's a lot of things that will go on behind the scenes, and I'm sure that's already happening just in case Lewis Hamilton doesn't sign a contract. Not only that though, but that then puts an issue towards Williams, because they're going to be losing George Russell, which means they need to get a replacement for their team. Would they pick Jack Aitken, their reserve driver, who has driven in Formula 1 in the Sakhir Grand Prix, but only that single race? Or are they going to try and get someone who's a little bit more experienced, like Alex Albon or Nico Hülkenberg, to fill in for that team? It would be very short notice if Lewis doesn't sign, Mercedes snatch up George Russell, and then Williams have only got one driver on the grid. There are rumors going around, of course, that Lewis Hamilton's contract will be signed very soon, and an announcement will be made. There are just some problems with the legal side of things and the lawyers and things like that, and that's what's causing the delays. And Mercedes did tweet out an image yesterday, quoting, "When you see it," and I may have missed what we was looking out for, but Lewis's number 44 is on the front of the car, which could be teasing that he has signed and the announcement will be made soon. Honestly, right now, it's all speculation, but I do believe Lewis Hamilton will sign another contract. We just don't know how long it will be for. I reckon it'll be 2 or 3 years. And even if signing that contract means that he has to take a cut in the salary that he gets, I think it will be worth it. He's not short of a bob or two. And with his 8th World Championship hanging right in front of him, and being the only driver in history to say they have 8 World Championships, I think it's worth taking a pay cut. The big issue, though, is will Mercedes pay what he's asking for? I believe the delay is down to them trying to get a better deal on money-wise or other things that they want to be doing on the contract side of things, but I do believe it will be signed in the not-so-distant future. Only time will tell, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I honestly feel that it should be Lewis Hamilton and George Russell in the car this year. George has proved his talent. It would be good to have Lewis Hamilton as a teammate so he can learn from him. But do let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you guys in another video. Knowing my luck, as soon as this video goes live, Mercedes are going to announce Lewis Hamilton has signed a 5-year contract or something like that with Mercedes.